What's happening, YouTube? It's Simon466cards, and I think Collectors isn't done wheeling and dealing. I think they're about to sell Goldin auctions. I don't have any sources on this, but I heard this very interesting tidbit from Mike Gioseffi from the Sports Cards Nonsense podcast, friend of the channel, I'd like to think at this point, talking to Darren Rovell about the SGC sale, and there was this exchange.
I actually do have it on, and I'm going to be super vague because I was asked to be about this. Have you heard of any other, what's the opposite of an acquisition? A sale? Have you heard of any selling off of parts of collectors that will be announced in the next week to 10 days?
No comment.
I do wonder if you heard the same thing.
I think we know the same thing. Yeah.
Very interesting.
So they're basically saying a part of collectors is getting sold off. Now, keep in mind, these aren't just two nobodies. Mike Gioseffi is very well connected in the hobby, and Darren Rovell is literally the person that broke the news of SGC being bought by collectors. So if anybody knows what's going on in the inside of collectors, it's Darren Rovell. And he's saying a piece of the company is getting sold off. So what pieces are there at collectors? Obviously, there's PSA. I think we can say pretty safely that they're not selling PSA. So what are the other options? Well, I'm on the website here, and if you scroll down, there is Goldin Marketplace or Goldin Auctions. That's obviously the other big piece that's not PSA. If you go to there, and this is under the company tab, you can look at this yourself if you'd like. If you go to the research tab, there's Card Ladder, there's PCGS, their coin company, and then there's WADA, the video game company. And Mike Gioseffi isn't a coins and currency guy, and he's not a video game guy. He's a cards guy. So I think we can safely throw WADA and PCGS out the window, which leaves Card Ladder. And no offense to Card Ladder, but I don't think that's going to make enough waves, or it's going to be big enough news where it makes someone like Darren Rovell, who's literally a news journalist and has done that for his career, chuckle for 4 or 5 seconds as soon as he hears about what Mike's hinting at. And so by default, it has to be Goldin getting sold. And I dug a little bit deeper. Do you know that 3 years ago, there was this company called the Chernin Group? They basically bought Goldin before they were bought out by PSA, and that meant that a person named Ross Hoffman was the new CEO at Goldin Auctions. You'll see here in this sentence that I've highlighted here in this paragraph, and then it says here, Ken Goldin, the founder, is moving into a new position of executive chairman and founder. So basically, just like he's kind of off to the side, and he's doing stuff to not run the day-to-day, but more of like building relationships and that kind of thing. I don't know about you, but I don't remember much about Ross Hoffman during the Ross Hoffman era. No offense to Ross Hoffman, I'm sure he's a nice guy. You go to his LinkedIn page, here's Ross Hoffman. Well, he was CEO at Goldin for 3 years, and he was gone in September of 2023. And now Ken Goldin, if you go to his LinkedIn page, he's the founder and CEO. It's kind of funny, he doesn't actually recognize the Ross Hoffman era where he was not the CEO, even though clearly it was him, it was Ross and not Ken. And why do you bring back Ken Goldin as CEO 6 months ago, which is when this Ross fella left? I mean, you're selling Goldin Auctions, so you bring back Ken Goldin. It's literally named after him. If you're trying to make the asset attractive to a potential buyer, you bring back the founder, the guy who's literally synonymous and named after. Like, you bring back that guy. He's the face of the company. He's always been the face of the company. So it makes sense to bring him back. And it's like, Ross, sorry, but thank you for your service, but we got to bring back Ken because we're about to sell his company again. And that's, I think, if you put all the pieces together, it really does point to collectors selling Goldin again. Again, I have no sources on this. I don't have inside sources. I'm not a reporter. But based off that, like, honestly, not very subtle soundbite from both Darren Rovell and Mike Gioseffi from Sports Cards Nonsense, it seems pretty obvious it has to be Goldin. I don't know what other thing it could be. So just a short little bit here. I don't know how widely this has been talked about, or if it's like basically an open secret, like what Mike and Ken are not Mike and Darren are talking about here. But that's I thought that was real interesting. So I thought I'd share what I think is about to happen when I don't know, because like I said, I don't have any inside details. I don't have any inside sources. I have nothing, but it seems like it's a little bit of an open secret. So just wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you. Oh, and I guess I'd just say, does this make sense to you, this theory? This theory that I put together that seems almost obvious at this point? Could be wrong. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and comments below. Thank you, as always, for listening and watching. I will talk to you soon. Cheers.